It's been a while since we opened our game. Let's check it. What is the progress of the game? Um, so we can run, but the buttons does not work. So we are to fix that. And before we go to the movement 2, we will polish the movement, the basic movement. And while we are doing that, we will fix the buttons for the mobile, which is also aligned with PC. Also clean the code. Transitioning speed, I think we've already done that. And yep, okay. So first, let's clean the necessary code in our character script. Mm-hmm. Since wait, we already have our jumping script, so therefore we do not need this on jumped. Might as well delete it in our project settings. Uh, I think that was small letter J. Okay. Are you running? Yes, you are. So, what else? Are you the only one? Character script. What about our standing script? Looks good. Okay, so since we already have our state for our PC, the transitioning of the states is good, but for the PC, as we can see here, project settings, input map, and we only have the keyboard settings here being configured. How about our mobile input, since this is a game for Android game? So of course, perhaps we can create a mobile input. Let's say mobile input jump add, and then let's add for listening for input. So in our input map, it listens for input, which would be the keyboard keys, mouse, joypad, and joypad access. But there is no mobile, there is no listening, there is no options for listening and input for the buttons of our button type touch screen button rather. So let's delete this first. So what we are going to do is to hard code uh, to bridge the gap so that we could listen, or we could make the buttons for the Android, for our Android UI to be working. We can do that with the action press Godot. There's no actions press. I believe there was. Oh, there it is. So you might read this one, but in a nutshell, action press is for saving input, but it does not recognize that it is pressed yet. Okay, so we could do that with action press and then the action release. So let's say first let's go to our mobile input UIs. For now we only have three: run, jump, crouch, and there should be a prone. Control D to duplicate rather, and then let's rename this one to prone. And also uh, disconnect the signals, since we will be connecting all of this on the necessary state scripts for a more cleaner code. Okay, so this is the run, jump, crouch, crouch and prone. Okay, so if we go to our defined UI button, we have to uh, connect these pressed signals onto their specific state scripts, which would be inside the state machines, and those would be each of these: standing, stand crouching, crouching, proning, running, jumping. So first, let's go with, let's say, run. Okay, so before we connect the pressed signal onto each of these, we first need to check the scripts uh, that is used for running. So let's go to the standing. This is the standing script, and then let's navigate to the physics update. This physics update is a virtual function, rather, to update the frame each per frame that the model in our game space is what it calculates the frame on the running on the game space. Anyways, so as you can see here in the standing script, we have used the crouching, proning, run, and jump. So we have to take note that we have to remember that we used the run here. Therefore, we must connect the run button into our standing script. We have to take note of that. Okay, so next one, stand crouching. Since there is no running that was being used in this state, let's skip that one. Prone crouching, none. Proning, prone state, there is no running state in here. Running state, of course, there is. Jumping state, and there is. So we have to check that this button must be also connected to a state that they used. Okay. Okay. So we know that the run button is used in the state standing, proning, running rather, and the jumping. Therefore, we have to press. Uh, Therefore, we have to connect the pressed signal onto those states. Standing, okay, connect to jumping, running rather, and then if there would be jumping. Now, if we go to the button that we tried to connect to a state, we can see here that it has been connected to the state node, state to the node standing, running, and jumping, which would be this 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have to also connect all the remaining 3, which is the jump, crouch, prone button, on to their specific respective states. So as for the jump, just like the run, you have to check where it is being used. So standing, it is being used in the standing script, not being used here, not here. Proning, not being used in here. Running, of course, it is used in here. And then jumping, of course, it is being used in here. So similar to the run button, we have to connect this UI button jump onto these three states. Okay, connect the press signal, connect it to the standing because it is being used in there, as you can see here. As you can see here, it is also being used in the running. Therefore, we must connect rather the jump UI button on to the running state script. Also do it similarly to the jumping script. Okay, so each of those are still wait, before we go to the coding part, we must connect the remaining two. As we all know that the crouching and proning is being used in all of these scripts. As you can see here, crouch and prone, crouch and prone, crouch and prone, and so on and so forth. So let me take my time to connect all of these. Okay. Start crouching. Okay, it has been connected in all of these 6 states. Excuse. Whew. As for the prone, we have to connect also. Okay, jumping. Whew. Okay, so first let's try the jump button. First, let's go the jump button. And we know that it is being connected in the standing script. There should be here. Okay, start jump. Yes, this is the jump. So first we have to use the input class so that we can use the method action press. Action press. And then since we already have a registered input for jumping here with the name jump, big letter J, UMP, with the recent input space from the keyboard. So we can reuse this registered jump from the input map that was registered from the PC keyboard into our mobile button. We can do that. We can simulate that rather by creating a mobile UI input with a touch screen button and connecting it into the script itself, which is standing or where the jump is being used inside a state script. And inside the signal which was connected, which is the on jump pressed, we have to call the class input so that we can use the method action press and put here the registered input, which is the jump. Okay, so this what this does, or what Godot says, wait, so what it tells us is that once we press the jump button, this one, yeah, so once we press this on the jump button, Godot now knows that it is also that we are telling uh, the program to jump, because we used a registered input from the project settings, even if it is from a touch screen button, because we connected it with the action press. So action press method is to simulate the pressing of a button. So this once this is once this function is called, that would mean it is continuously being pressed. So we have to, in order to properly simulate the pressing of a button, we have to use the release action release method. So where, so since the jump input is being used in here, all we have to do now, I mean, that would mean it would the jump functionalities of this button is also being based in here. So what we could do now is to release the action pressed input action release, and then the action name, which would be the jump. So once we press the jump, it would be, once we press the jump button, it knows that it is being registered in the project settings thanks to this action press, and then it would also follow this state logic, and once it exits with the emit method, we have to release the button to simulate properly the pressing of a button with the action release. But that is not very, let's say, wise, I guess, because this is in the physics update. So rather than in the physics update, we have to release it inside the enter function of ours, because each time a state script is being called, it will always enter this function. Anyways, so call reset, no, release all buttons. The first one to be released would be the jump. So input action release jump. No, that will not suffice, because we still have to follow and do the same with the other two, because they also use the jump state. Okay, we're done with the standing. We will now proceed to the running. So if, oops, again, Godot does not have a built-in mobile touchscreen button for listening input, so we use the action press. In order to do that, we access the input class, use the action press, and then put here the action name. In our case, would be the jump. Now, in this part, with this code, it now knows that the once we press the button, or a certain button, it knows that we are telling the Godot to jump with the project settings in the input map in here. So in order to physically jump, we have to integrate, we have to put it to a state logic, which we have in here, the existing state logic. With that, we have to, once the character jumped, we have to release the button. But rather in the physics update, we have to release it inside the enter function. Because again, each time a state script or state is being entered, it will always execute inside the code block inside the enter function, virtual function, a custom virtual function rather. So uh, let's put it in here. Okay, since we already did the code for each of the three states rather, it should work. Whoa. Okay, so right now I am jumping with the keyboard input. This is the jumping button. Ooh. So if I run or walk or idle, it should always jump. I am walking, run, should jump. It is jumping. If I am idle, it should also jump. Yes, it is jumping. Thanks to the two action methods, action press and then the action release. Now, we have to do the same with the other three. So, watch. Action press should be run. Do we have a run? Oh my. Okay. Ah, yes. Run. So, this toggles or press or simulates the pressing of the button. You have to put it inside the enter to simulate the releasing of the button being pressed. Okay. Also do the same here. Input, action, release. Oh, sheesh. That should be press. And what is this? On crouch. So this is the action name, which is from the project settings. In our case, it would be the crouch or uncrouch. It would, and then we would release it. Action, release. Yep. Do the same with the prone. Input, press, then the action name, prone. So once that is being done, it would have its state logic in here and it would exit. Once it exits, it should get out. It should release those what do you call this, action name. So input, action, release, prone. Yes. So we're done with the standing script. We have to release all the buttons. We have to press all the buttons in each its designated states and also release all of them once when the state script is being called. So it is imperative to use uh, to release all the buttons inside the enter virtual function of each state. So with that being in mind, let's do it. Stun crouching. So enter. Since we are in the enter function, let's paste all of them here. Wait, copy and then paste it here. Yes, we know that it only use crouch and prone, but for safety, I'm going to paste all of them. Anyways, so moving on to the prone crouch, we are on the enter virtual function. Let's paste it in here. Do the same with proning. Check if it's in the enter virtual function, and we are. Do the same with running. Okay, this is our. Okay, so jumping. Yes, we did this earlier. Okay, so that's only for the release of the other state functions. If you remember correctly, we only have defined the action press of the standing script itself, not the other state scripts. So as for the stand crouching, it uses on crouch pressed. Also have to press those input action press crouch. This is for the proning. Action press prone. Moving on. Wait, let me just copy paste this one. Okay. It should work. Does it work? Yes, it works. Because they have the same. Wait, do they? On crouch press, on prone press. If I paste, they're the same. Okay. And let's also copy this one from the standing state script onto the proning. Oh, they only use on crouch. How about running? Yes. Let's paste it in here. Since they are also the same. As for the jumping, they are also the same. Now for the proning, we only have to copy paste the on crouch and on prone because it only uses two of them. Proning, on crouch, on prone. Yes. Alright, so let's double check. In the standing script, in the enter virtual function, it should have those release. Yes, they all have it. It should also have this action press. Okay. And then stand crouching rather. It should also have those action press to simulate the pressing of the button, which would be integrated on state logic in here. It should exit, and also it should have those release buttons. Okay. Alright. So by theory, they should all work. Wait. So for now, I'm using my PC for the PC buttons or controls, no? Okay. Now, I'm going to move on to my uh, phone. to check if those button actually works just like in PC. Now it should work. How many hours? Minutes has passed? 30 minutes. Okay, here we are. I am on my phone and I'm controlling it. So it should run. I am running. Okay. It also has those this specific respective running speed states. So you can see it is slower when I am proning, a little bit faster when I am crouching, when I'm walking and running, and they all work together. As for the buttons, as for the jumping, okay, it's not working properly. I am continuously pressing the jumping button. Oops, that's crazy. Okay, so it only jumps when I try to press another button and it jumps. Maybe that is because there is a bug inside the jumping. Oh yes, there is. So it's because of this character is on floor condition. It only checks or it only releases on the enter virtual function, not in the physics update. So to catch or to fix that bug, just to ensure that we release the pressed jump button from any of these states, similar here, we have to release it. So once we press the jump and if it is or if the character is on the floor, we should release it. Okay. So again, why did I have this one? It seems redundant, but hey, it works. Anyways, just to make sure again, we have to release it again here. From here, rather. Okay. Jump. Okay. So, it should now work, perhaps. Maybe, perchance. I don't know. Per se. Because if I jump and it is on mid-air, or the character is mid-air, it does not release. It cannot release the jump button. Okay, jump, 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 run, jump, jump. Okay, so I am running, and if I'm mid-air, I will press jump again. Okay, jump, 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 jump. It should jump. Okay, it jumps. It it properly released the jump button. I can now move with my phone, not on my PC anymore. Okay, perhaps that's it for now. See you. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to fix the polish more. Wait, wait, wait. I'm not done yet. So I did fix this one. I did. I also cleaned the code. Polished movement. Oh, so in order to finish this one, I have to animate. Maybe that's next time. I want some action. So, therefore, I will proceed next on to the movement part 2. for the sliding, wall jump, and diving. So that's it for now.